OutKasts Podcast is a platform for us to simply express our thoughts, opinions, and experiences concerning our faith and events around the world. We're here for your entertainment, encouragement, and edification of the body. We're humans like yourself and are not the final authority of views expressed. Only the Most High Yah is. Feel free to agree, disagree, edify, question, and comment however you're led to in the comments. We are many members of one body under Messiah and look forward to communing as a family with mutual respect. Shalom and enjoy the pod. Kingdom OutKasts.
You guys ready?
Yes.
Let's get it. What is up, beautiful people all around God's green earth? Hope that you're having a blessed day. Welcome back to another episode of Kingdom OutKasts. It's episode 10, guys.
Episode 10.
For sure. That's
Feels-
crazy.
Time
man.
flies.
Time flies when you're having fun and you're podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
So-
we never get to this episode with all the hiatuses and sick days Deja's been taking.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
It's paid vacation.
Guys, I'm going this weekend.
I'm just not feeling it. My attitude's not right.
Yeah, same, but we're here. We're here. 10. Is it what's 10 mean in numerology?
Or in Hebrew numbers, we'll come back to that. I got
Okay.
you. Let me look that up.
Yeah. 10 was my favorite number when I played baseball.
Okay.
10 out of 10, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then someone took it 1 year. So I had to go down to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Number 1 in the field. Number
Yeah.
1 in your heart, you know?
Okay.
number one in our heart.
Yeah. How's your guys' week been? I know it's been a minute.
We
What you
didn't
guys been doing?
introduce ourselves.
Oh, yeah, we did. Wow.
Well, this is nameless. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Eliyahu.
I'm Deja.
Mashak. Brandon Mashak.
And greatly thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment as you're listening. And let us know what you guys are thinking. If you guys have any topics that you guys want us to talk about.
Let us know if you miss us.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's been good? What's been up with y'all, man?
I've had a eventful week.
Okay. Tell us about these events.
Well, some good, maybe some not so good. I have gotten really serious about getting out of debt. So I've created this 24-month plan, which is possibly requires me moving back home with my parents. Like, it's that serious. Trying to purchase a second investment property.
Wow.
So that's been on my mind really.
You have a first.
We're sitting in it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, got it. Okay.
We're sitting in it right now. So yeah, that's some things that have been on my mind. My brother just turned 24, so we celebrated his birthday. I did all that I could to be as helpful as possible and planned him a little barbecue pool day, and me and my friends. We tend to have even more fun than him on his birthday.
So acting bad.
That's good.
There was a little backsliding in there. A little backsliding.
It's the summer.
It's getting hot out. It's getting hot out.
It literally comes with the territory.
But I feel like, every week is not the same. Like, some weeks I'm like super focused on my walk, in prayer every day, reading, writing. And then other times I'm in prayer, but like I know I'm backsliding.
Yeah.
And that's how this week has been.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. Is backsliding more of an extreme term though, or is that like just what do you think?
Well, I feel like the way like sin works is like, if you are not literally like beating your flesh into submission on the highest degree, you're most likely backsliding in some area.
Got it. Okay.
So like one area may be doing well. Like, for example, it's like, okay, I'm doing well in eating. Like, I am controlling my desire to eat badly, and I'm like really on my flesh in that area. But then I'm like,
Get Cannabis
drinking
on
more, like,
LLC coaching can help you
getting
get
wine
that,
drunk. Like, why are we wine drunk? Like, it's just so, I think that, or just drunk at all.
Yeah.
So that's one area that I had to stay on top of myself for sure.
Right.
Even my brother's birthday is not an excuse to get lit.
Nah, I hear that.
Yeah, I feel like the enemy works the hardest on birthdays. especially our own.
Yeah.
But
And I got one coming up.
Yeah.
Look for all the super brews. Birthday's pagan worship. It's satanic. Chill.
You gotta celebrate yourself, you know.
Well, it's not even. I don't even look at it as celebrating ourselves. I think it's celebrating. Hey, the Most High gave me life. Like that's one of the biggest things in the Israelite community I can't really get all the way with is not celebrating birthdays. Now, for me, I don't really care to like throw my own party. Like I'll wake up, hey, I'm cool. But if people text me, hey, we want to celebrate you. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, cool. Come to the crib and we kick it or whatever. Or they might. I'll let somebody else decide to celebrate me, not kind of like.
We're throwing.
Oh, hey, come to my party. Come, celebrate.
You're not planning on your party. Yeah,
feels lame a little bit to me. Like, like,
don't worry, man. We'll throw you a party.
No. I'm not.
Party.
We don't gotta do all that.
It's on a rager.
It's gonna be on a rager.
30 is a big.
30 is a big number.
You know it is.
Yeah, but
if you're turning that,
I found that number by the way. So Yod is 10, which is double of Hey 5. Tribe of Asher. But yeah, so arm or handiwork, praise to heal humility. The month Adar is also attributed to it, which means to be high, glorious, illustrious, exalted. So yeah, that's where Yod is.
Interesting.
And so that makes sense to be high, glorious, right? But it also has humility, for Yod. Arm, handiwork, praise to heal. So,
how was y'all's week?
Yeah, so my week, right? I just got back in town. It was from South Florida. It was my first sister, Deja's wedding. Congratulations to you again, little sis. It was great, man. It was great. Married a Mexican/Italian dude, so we had a little Latina vibes out there. You know what I'm saying? Not enough spicy songs for me during the reception, but it was still cool.
Yeah.
It's fun if my dad starts dancing because he's so uptight sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But he started doing a little Michael Jackson junk. People got him on video. Now he's hiding behind the pillar. You know what I mean? So,
funny.
But nah, it was a great trip. Flew into Orlando, drove down there with my lady. Family was cool. Family loved her as well. And we had a, kind of a little rocky, whatever, but...
I was arguing.
Yeah, a little bit, but it is what it is. It's being around a lot of human beings complicates things.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad's side of the family is so much bigger than my mom's side. So here's how I say it. My mom's side, a little ratchet, but y'all cool, right? Dad's side is the overly righteous, you know what I mean? But it was a lot more my mom's side that pulled up, even though they're smaller, because they've been more close-knit over the last couple of years. They really haven't been letting DIVOC restrictions stop them from, but my dad's side has been super scary about that stuff. Yeah, just gonna be blunt about it, y'all. I feel like y'all being scary.
That actually changes the dynamic of a family. Like, that stuff is only 2-3 years old, and this family, part of the family, is closer because they did not allow those restrictions to stop them.
Look, I went on the
from making memories together.
Look, I went on the family Facebook. Like, y'all scared. And talking to old, young, middle-aged people, y'all scared. Like, what's up? And it is what it is. But it was great. It's so funny because my parents are the ones who, out of all their friends, like preacher and church friends, they're the ones that don't drink the most. Like, as in, like, they'll literally only have like champagne, maybe. Wine is like once every decade,
It's a very special occasion.
And
such as a marriage or a wedding.
It was so funny. I remember I was at the reception, like, man, I hope we got some, what I mean, from groomsmen,
strong drink.
Blah, blah, blah. Right. And my dad comes over and, son, look, Meshach's and I don't care about your congregation. I don't care about you. I'm trying to have fun. It's my sister's wedding. Yeah. Chill, you know. And then my mom.
But did you listen to him? Did you say he?
Oh, look! They only had champagne like mixes at the table, so it was like, bro, this is like
you can be pretty lit with champagne.
I mean, you can. I had to drink a couple.
Yeah, if you drink the whole bottle.
I had to drink a couple.
There are some effects.
I had to have a couple of, a couple of glasses, and then cousins. Man, I tell you, cousins. I'm like the oldest of a lot of cousins.
Oh,
and man, you just see where like sometimes your family don't want alcohol involved in like hangouts because one cousin broke a hand, others almost fought, but we all ended everything in love.
Yes.
And then the rabbit hole conversations come where everybody gets argumentative, but then you bring it back around and so the deep arguments that happen when you start
this is what's supposed to happen. Yeah, this is how it's supposed to go. You guys are gonna sit there and be robots.
Yeah. Right. So
like if someone doesn't argue, I question like what kind of function is this?
Literally.
Yeah, true. But
passionate.
Right. But it was a great trip. Florida's super hot, not as bad as way worse than Georgia, so I'm actually getting a relief here. And I remember why I wouldn't want to live in Florida no more. Mm-hmm. It's a good vacation place, but 5 years, I did my time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Florida, hot as frick, but Georgia, hot as fricker. Okay. Yeah. To me, at least. Like, coming from up north, I'm like, literally the past 2 weeks, my AC's been out.
But the heat.
My AC's been out, y'all. I've been like, no shirt working, like, just like still sweating bullets, and I'm like,
he's gonna come baby face to the next podcast. Beard.
No, I'm not gonna do that. They fixed it yesterday. Thank the Lord. But
yeah, praise y'all, because as soon as you said that AC was out, we both were like, wait now.
Yeah.
How are you alive?
I had windows open and everything, but it was just like I was just like, this is insane. But yeah, I mean, I've been blessed. I think I got some time to go back up to Columbus for like a couple of days. Literally, as soon as I got there, I was like, why am I here? But I got to spend some good time with my parents.
Now, why did you think, why are you here?
Because I just didn't miss it.
Because it's like nothing to do almost? Or what
I mean, there's stuff you can do, but it's not like I wanted to do anything.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
No old friends or?
I was really there for such a short time. I did see some friends, but I didn't get to see all the friends that I wanted to. Unfortunately. So I guess I'll have to go back up there eventually, but... I really just wanted to spend some time with my parents, and I had to get new tags for my car and stuff like that because I'm not ready to fully establish residency down here. But yeah, so I mean, it was good to be in some AC while I was up there.
I gotta get my tags this month.
Yeah, you do, man.
Okay, yeah.
Don't get caught lacking, man. Don't get caught lacking.
Yeah.
I put out these shirts. God over money.
Which I'll be
the past 2 weeks.
Mine today.
Nice.
Yeah, that's right there. I could just give them to you right here on the podcast, but I won't. But yeah. Just want to
plug.
Yeah, shameless plug. We'll put the link in the description below. If you guys want to get you a shirt. What else has been going on? Work is just. It's been working. It's been really grinding my gears, and I've been really kind of
annoying you.
It's been annoying me.
It's been like that for.
I don't even know what it is. Actually, I do know what it is. It's just. I'm starting to realize I do have a little bit of a problem with authority. A little bit of a problem with authority.
I feel that.
Yes.
It's a lion in you.
I'm just, I can't take it much more.
I'm a leader. I shouldn't be led. No.
No. So I'm planning my exit plan and strategy to get out eventually. So I'm going to be living well below my means for a while so I can stack and I can, like, I need to have a goal of purchasing an asset by the end of this year. Not like a property or anything like that, but something a little bit small scale that can create me some passive income. A crypto ATM is what I want to get. Mm-hmm. But I've been looking into that.
That sounds dope.
It is dope. I think that there's some stipulations behind it. Like you have to probably get licensing and stuff and registration. So I got to see what, like, more into that, but I'm saving up for that. Yeah, I mean, I really can't complain. The Most High's been good. I did deal with a little bit of backsliding as well, but this week,
Talk about it.
like, I mean, being up in a state where the marijuana is medical, I think, and recreational. It's just it's a lot more accessible, and it's the good stuff.
Oh.
The good stuff, guys.
Look at the face, man.
Good stuff. So
Oh my God.
I did smoke some weed, not like anything.
You already know I sparked up with the family, so
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
even flex. I
Yeah.
can't even flex.
I had to too. But I realized, I was like, Elijah, just don't smoke the tobacco. And I got some cones, I smoked cones.
Okay.
So I felt a little healthier.
That's vegan smoking.
Yeah, vegan smoking. That was my backsliding. I mean, but the Most High always just reminds me of like where I used to be with smoking was like, it was like, it's like, oh, I gotta smoke every day type of thing. And I still even struggle with after I do smoke, it's like, why did I smoke?
Yeah.
And like, why am I still like kind of allowing for this door to be open in my life, like this portal, for this spirit to influence me. So just been having to pray against that, and I'm like, you're gonna have to go on like because I've gone like months without smoking, so I know I can stop smoking.
Yeah.
But just sometimes certain environments can get me right back in the
Yeah.
All right now.
All right.
especially after I drink. Like if I'm like,
Bruh.
after like the fourth drink, my mind's like, where's the weed?
No,
Something's missing.
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
You know how I stopped? I prayed to the Most High, like, please take the taste of smoking away from me. And then I started getting headaches.
Yeah.
Every time I did. And sometimes I would even get them right the moment I start thinking about it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like
I
you
see what
want me
did.
to stop doing
Yeah,
this.
like he's like, yeah, you're gonna get a headache every time, and that had me stop for a while. But yeah, for me at least, it's down to social. And but I do, like I said, I do want to just stop. At one point, just stop. So Most High still working on me with that.
Yeah.
It did repentant daily, all that. Or when I do. But yeah, so I feel it, bro.
Yeah, I think
Repentance. I think growth, like you said, observing like where you were before versus where you are now. It makes all the difference.
Yeah, it really does. I do know probably the night that I get married, I probably will roll up for sure.
You're just putting it out there ahead of
I'm
time.
just putting it out there ahead of time,
Okay.
Yeah. I definitely will be rolling up then, but
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know about me, but there's gonna be plenty of alcohol on my marriage night.
oh, for sure.
And it'll be a
Open-minded.
little
It's
stronger than
going-
champagne.
Yeah,
A little
plenty
stronger
of
than
brown.
wine.
Some tequila.
Straight
I've been
liquor,
to some since I'm finna hit the big
Brown,
3-0. I've been
nasty.
realizing tequila is definitely a lot better, with
In
the
your
hangover.
20s.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
You
yeah, yeah.
think so?
Yeah, brown. Oh, my
brown
gosh.
Yeah. So,
Whew,
yeah,
that
Most High just slowly stripping all of my vices away.
Yes, he
I
is.
feel it, Most High. Let
Yes.
it come with the age,
Yeah.
maturity, wisdom. So I feel it.
That's good. That's good.
Y'all ready to get into the precept for the week?
Let's get into it.
Yes, sir. All
Talking
right.
about giving and taking away. We're coming from Job.
Okay.
Chapter 1. We're going to start at verse 13 through 22. I'm reading from the Amplified Version. Open up your Bibles. And this is, when Satan was allowed to test Job. Verse 13. Now there was a day when Job's son and daughters were eating and drinking wine in their oldest brother's house. And a messenger came to Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the donkeys were feeding beside them. And the Sabians attacked and swooped down on them and took away the animals. They also killed the servants with the edge of the sword. And I alone have escaped to tell you. While he was still speaking, another messenger came and said, the fire of God, lightning, has fallen from the heavens and has burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them. And I alone have escaped to tell you. While he was still speaking, another messenger also came and said, the Chaldeans formed 3 bands and made a raid on the camels and have taken them away and have killed the servants with the edge of the sword, and I alone have escaped to tell you. While he was still speaking, another messenger came also came and said, your sons and your daughters were eating and drinking wine in the oldest brother's house, and suddenly a great wind came across the desert and struck the four corners of the house, and it fell on the young people, and they died, and I alone have escaped to tell you. Then Job got up and tore his robe and shaved his head in mourning for the children. And he fell to the ground and worshipped God. He said, naked, without possessions, I came into this world from my mother's womb, and naked I will return there. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. But blessed be the name of the Lord. Through all this, Job did not sin, nor did he blame God. So I just came across this because I'm in the book of Job right now, and I thought it was really profound that, well, let me go back real quick, because I don't know why I chuckled at this. Like, I had to catch myself.
Mm-hmm.
But in the Amplified version, it says, like, the fire of God has fallen from the heavens and burned up the sheep, and it said lightning. And I just thought, I don't know why, I thought that was kind of like funny, because like that's some thick lightning.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so I was reading this, and I just thought it was really profound that Job, who had been blessed up until this point, he was doing right in the eyes of God and sacrificing on behalf of his children, for their sins and everything like that, because he knew like they were probably getting into some crazy stuff as they were partying, and up until this point, like, he was doing righteous in the eyes of the Most High, because we see in heaven the Most High bragging on Job, and saying, like, have you considered my servant Job, to Satan? And even after he gets all this news, basically his wealth is destroyed, his lands are gone, his family, his sons and his daughters are gone, he still says, but blessed be the name of Elohim. And it's just like, that's like and it definitely takes like a beautiful relationship with your creator to still amidst that, not to be feeling like I mean, of course you're grieving, but like feeling like some sort of resentment, like, how could you, God, for taking away my children, my wealth and everything. But he said, but blessed be the name of the Elohim. And I thought about, like, for me, it was just thinking about everything that we're like that's here on earth is so temporary. And like the first part of it is like, naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. And I don't know if this is something that you said, Brandon, but you said, like, when when we do die, like, and we are facing judgment, we'll likely be naked. I mean, we might be in our robes, but
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, the father and son can look at us naked.
Yeah.
And that's just, of course, just in our totality.
Right.
So
Right.
no matter how much layers you put on, you can't hide, from the Creator, in all your deeds. So
Yeah.
Hear that.
When I read this, I think about the fact that it emphasizes that Job, all of these events occurred, but Job did not sin. He immediately worshipped. And so sometimes we take like turmoil and bad things that happen in our life that are outside of our control as an excuse to sin. It's like, well, I'm hurting right now, so I just need to do this, or I'm hurting right now, so like I don't even care, like I don't need kindness, like nobody gave me kindness. It's just an excuse to basically not be in the right place in your heart. But not Job. Like, the reason that he has gone down in history, the reason that he's a part of this amazing, awesome book and work that will remain until the end of times, is because he's one of the very few humans that had the ability to do that.
Yeah.
Like, we take that as a time to be like, all right, well, now I'm about to do my big one because my feelings are hurt, or I lost this, or I'm like, I'm disappointed. I didn't get this. I didn't get that. Someone hurt me. Like, now I'm about to do whatever I want because it's my time.
Yeah.
I even see, a person in grief, or maybe a man who has lost his wife. Now it's like, well, I'm hurt, so I'm about to just do anything.
Yeah. Or her, but a young dude who's got his heart broken.
Here,
swiping right on everything.
Yeah.
But that's a true test of your righteousness right there.
It is.
Like, you lose grief, like grief on that level where you're losing family, friends, everything, money. Like, there should be nothing that you value over your relationship with the Most High.
Yeah.
There's no house, no car, there's no city, no relationship, nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, yep, nah, that's true, man. Job, Ayab, however we say your name, yes, man, that is definitely encouragement. I believe that his book was written in the time of ancient Mesopotamia, before Israel even became a nation. So he was a Hebrew, not an Israelite yet, but a Hebrew. And so he didn't even need like all those built out laws and things like that quite yet.
Oh wow.
You know.
It was on his heart.
Yeah.
It was in his heart, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the word, there's a couple words here for naked. For little naked, right?
This is the Hebrew.
Yeah, Hebrew.
word.
The Hebrew word is arom. So arom, naked, and it just means naked. The word origin comes from the word you are, or it's pronounced or, but it's you are. It means to be exposed or bare, made, milch. And then we also have erom, which is naked or nakedness, and it has the same root, or. We have ara, which means to be naked or bare. Now this has a lot more definitions: defenseless, emptied, empty, laid bare, lay him open, leave, made naked, make there bare, make yourself naked, poured, raise, spreading, uncovered. So that one is definitely a lot more detailed.
Yeah.
And just kind of more the spiritual, implications, and to uncover. Raise, spread self, to empty, discover, leave destitute. And then I have one more, which is maroon. You can kind of hear the similarities in this one. Some definition: something naked. Translation: naked ones. So yeah, that's what we have. One more. Arom, to be shrewd or crafty. Become shrewd, make shrewd, sensible, very cunning.
Interesting.
And so, yeah, that's what we got. Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just being totally exposed, like in a place where it's like I have nothing, but my faith in the Most High is all I have. Most of us will never actually hit that level of rock bottom.
Yeah.
Maybe to us, like to you, or to it may be like, oh my goodness, like I'm down bad, or we will never ever experience that level of nakedness to where it's like we have absolutely nothing but our faith in the Most High and like maybe the clothes on our back, if that.
You don't think we'll ever experience that? You said?
I don't think so. Not in my lifetime.
I think that we could.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think I have.
See, look. You better be careful. That's what the Most High hear you and be like, really now? Let me test my servant Deja.
I considered my servant.
Next thing you know, man, you
not
out on the
consider
side
me.
of
I'm not your strongest soldier.
Oh man, you don't want that, man.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I've been reading the Book of Remembrance. The book of the Essene Book of the Book of Remembrance, Enoch, the Essene Book of Haggai, and it goes into great detail about Adam and Eve, or how they pronounce in this book Yatzakad Adam and Chava or Chua Eve. I think we all have heard Chua, and it really describes how these super innocent people, first experienced, nakedness, what it feels like to be naked. And that one longer definition I read about, to be exposed, made bare. Imagine literally, you don't even know what naked means, and you have no skeletons, no secrets, right? And then for the first time in your life, maybe around the age 20 or 30 or something, you feel that for the first time naked. Like, that's like horrifying.
Yeah.
It actually, in the book, it talks about how it was always on their mind, how can we get back to Eden?
Oh yeah.
How can we get to the day they died? They desired to get back to eating.
That's a scary thought.
That is.
And then you see your children running around going crazy. The world is going crazy, and then yeah.
It's interesting.
It is, man. It is. That's. I think that's why repentance is so important too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because if you don't, the Most High will make you naked. He'll expose you.
Mm-hmm.
And the power of salvation, like leaning into that salvation through repentance,
Yeah.
a daily,
Yeah.
it's a daily walk.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what the Messiah felt. He felt nakedness. So yeah, big thing.
Okay. Are we ready to talk about current events?
All right, let's get it.
Let's get it.
Okay, so for current events, we have a conversation where Ice Cube is kind of going against the gatekeepers, but he's speaking in code. He's speaking in code. So I want to hear y'all's opinion. Like, if you heard the live where he basically called out the so-called gatekeepers in code words, saying, we know what y'all are doing, and like, it's over with. I'm about to go on a tour, and I'm about to tell everybody, I'm going to get on every platform and talk about this. What will become of that?
It's gonna be a hot summer. It's gonna be a hot summer because when you start calling out gatekeepers, and then they start sending out their minions. Their I don't know what another word is, but just people to like start moving things around,
Stirring trouble.
Stirring trouble. Most, I mean, to my understanding, most of the gatekeepers are associated with powers of darkness. And I looked into, I saw the live or the video that he put out about it. Definitely speaking in code, but I think that's smart. I think he was doing it very strategically because he doesn't want to say too much, and he gave us enough to be like, oh, we gotta like listen to what he's gonna say in the future about, like, I think he's talking about like going on a podcast or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that'll be really interesting, and it'll definitely stir the pot because, I mean, the gatekeepers have been so detrimental to especially the black community. I think we're gonna talk about it in our main topic a little bit more, but
it's like continuous gaslighting. It's like, no, this is normal. Not to like change topics, but I didn't watch the BET Awards, but saw clips, and every little clip or every little thing I saw looked so insane that I was like, there's no way that this is like real. Like, every woman was like doing like insanely ghetto things. Like, every single person was just doing weird. Like, every man was like dressed as strangely with nail polish. It was just like, is this a circus? Because this is not an actual awards show for black talent. It can't be.
Yeah.
Especially the best black talent in the world or whatever. Like, everybody knows American entertainment industry, like, blacks are the most famous, some of the most talented in the world. So it's like, how is this the award show for that? This looks like a total circus.
Making fools of. I mean, this is literally almost worse than auction sellings, because it's not being done to us. You're doing it to yourselves. Like, bro, like, it'd be embarrassed, bro. One of the worst emotions for me personally to feel is embarrassment. I can't look, even if I'm watching just a movie or something and something embarrassing happens and I just do like this. And like, literally, that's all the BET words. You're just like, bro, this is literally
so
like, the whole nation is just watching these people just show their tail, act stupid, ridiculous.
And they want for this to be our representation.
So this is what the gatekeepers orchestrate. They keep this circus tomfoolery going, and they have these puppets who get up there and they play their part, and they fight with their boyfriend at the award show, and they punch another black man on stage. Like, they do it. They just keep on doing it, and then they pretend as if they're not pretending.
Yeah.
Right.
We're the ones that are like weird for saying like, this looks like it's staged.
Now, just to give Ice Cube a little bit of background for viewers to know. So Ice Cube has hinted at also knowing that we're the people, right? That we're the people of the book, the Hebrew Israelites. He was under fire a while ago because he had posted anti-Semitic tweets, talking about, the black slaves were in, the slaves in Egypt were black and things like that. And mad people got mad, and with their anti-Semitism, and if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so
We know.
he might know the truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of them choose not to go out and do all that because they
Yeah.
know they're gonna get blackballed. They know who owns everything. When he was talking about the gatekeepers, when I look at the video, he was talking about it's more so about getting them to stop working against us.
Yeah.
I'm be real. I feel like Ice Cube could still be controlled opposition.
I don't know.
But given his personality and what other people say about how real and raw and straightforward he is, who knows? Maybe he could be more of the less controlled opposition. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and not to just bring up past, but he was a part of the movie, NWA, which spread just a lot of, not positive images of us.
Yeah.
He had success in Hollywood.
In his defense, though, that was an actual story about what actually happened. They didn't just let's make up a tale. Like it was like, no, this literally happened, and we're just replaying.
I get it. In all movies, there is still a little bit of fluff input, but I'm just saying, there's still, even with those, there's still agendas. I mean, with the actual crew, there was an agenda behind their creation, spreading, violence in black communities. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He's been a part of those. He's an A-list, maybe B-list actor, right? Who knows what he's had to do to get to the height that he's at. And so I always still am a little bit of skeptic because you're pretty high up on the known list.
Mm-hmm.
You've probably done things. You probably went through certain doors, and who knows, how in ways you've sold out. So maybe he's tired of it all at this point.
Yeah,
right?
that was my next question was going to be that, like, what brought this on?
Or that could be a script written as well. It's an easy script to do.
Yeah.
The actor who's real and raw and angry all the time, and now he's just fed up with it, and now he's gonna, it's just like, I don't know. So I have to wait and see. How much is he actually gonna go?
Yeah.
Mind you, a lot of this is centered around NBA stuff,
NFL.
You explain that part because I don't really know too much about it.
I mean, he was talking about being in collaboration with the big three: NBA, NFL, and MLB.
Okay.
And I mean, I have my own kind of grievances with sports and media mixing because it's really just still a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like, I guess what there is to explain, but I mean, like, for me, I think it's just another form of slavery, and I'm not trying to, like, say anything bad about any athletes or anything like that, but, like, it's a system, and it's very much similar to, like, the plantation, and they like, the contracts that they sign, I know that they can only say so much. Like, that's why Colin Kaepernick is basically not in the NFL anymore. It's not because he wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
It's because he was going against what the narrative that they wanted to push against was. So it's like, if you're really for, how much can you be for our community? And maybe he's trying to work within the system that's already been created with the big three. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but I'm kind of just in wait and see mode. I think, like, I want to read the contract, the Black America contract, and just see, like, what's really in it.
Yeah,
like, that was
Ice Cube.
Yeah, that was something. Yeah. That's one thing that he put out. I think that was when Trump was in office. But, like, I think that could be a good step forward. But I don't know. Like you said, when you've already been, like, an A-list, what doors have you already gone into? And is it like, you just gotta kind of feel it out. I'm right now more so in the sense of, like, he's wanting to be an actual, like, positive leader and not being controlled opposition.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
still gotta. I think it's always important with all people that have reached a level of worldly fame to have a level of skepticism behind their motives and also who's pulling the strings behind them.
Yeah.
And so when you guys say the whole big three thing, is it that because he stated that they get upset when you don't want to be a part of their club? So is it that he's been asked to become, like, an owner of a team and he didn't want to do, like, what is it with him in the NBA and NFL?
I think it's probably like more so promoting their stuff and maybe speaking there. I don't think that they would. I mean, I don't know how much money Ice Cube has, but I think if there was to be a black owner besides Jordan, it'll probably be Diddy. Or like a group of people like around Diddy.
Someone who's totally sold their
yes.
buttocks to the industry.
And they sell other buttocks.
You know what I'm saying? Someone who's been caught in the mansion parties doing some weird things behind the dough.
Yeah.
He definitely is going to have that kind of clout.
Not caught. Throwing the parties. Throwing the
parties, inviting. Well, what's the funny post they talk about how he constantly trying to invite Fabulous out and Fabulous. There's some funny videos
I've seen that.
Him and Fabulous. Fabulous like, I'm good, bro. Like,
thanks.
Yeah, so.
Oh man,
we'll have to see, but it kind of does tie into. I mean, it does tie into like what else we're going to talk about.
I'm just gonna wait and watch with him. I'm just gonna wait and watch.
Yeah. So we've been seeing a lot of rappers, and now it's not like fringe rap, like Little Uzi or ones who were like super fashion or whatever. Just Drake, just every day, you know, household name rappers with painting nails like pink and like literally girly, like little kid girl nails, and like what's up with that?
And now we've seen the biggest Ashkenazi Jewish rapper Drake. In case y'all didn't know, his mom is Jewish, and Jews.
He did say that.
Graham,
and they
through the mom.
Yeah, they passed their bloodline through the mom, so he's not black. He's Ashkenazi Jewish. And y'all letting him call y'all bees and hoes and niggas and all that. Racist.
For the longest time, I was like, I think Drake is the only black Jew that I've ever heard of. Like, I genuinely thought that.
No,
I was like,
he is not a black Jew. He's Ashkenazi Jew. Let's be specific.
Yeah. I've learned since then.
He's Ashkenaz.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's showing off his nails on Instagram, and I'm trying to figure out what's the trend with the nails.
It couldn't even be something masculine, bro.
No, literally, and it's like I don't know.
Well, you can't do masculine nails. I feel like
not at all.
Nothing against the dudes who get like the manicures to be clean and stuff. Y'all do y'all thing. It's not my thing. Y'all do y'all thing. But this whole painting colors and stuff.
Yeah, colors. That's OD. And even I feel like I've gotten my feet done once, and they did the clear polish, and they're like, "Oh, do you want your fingers done?" No, I don't want my fingers done. I ain't about to be showing that off. Even if it's clear polish, you can't even tell. But yeah, I'm.
Now the clear coat on men's nails or whatever is almost a trend though, because it's like a status symbol.
I don't want that type of status symbol.
And maybe not with color. So that's why the colors is a different thing.
Yeah.
But the more gaslight, I've had this conversation with someone where I'm like, okay, so I feel as though the nail polish is like demasculating the man for them to be wearing nail polish at all.
Mm-hmm.
And the gaslighting of it all is like semantics, like, why is nail polish color technically masculine versus feminine? Like, these are things that we were taught. There's no such thing as a feminine color. All colors are colors. Like,
I want to ask them how much. And what I would say to those people, how much of what you talking is European Western culture versus Africans, the people you come through.
Yeah.
What do they say about this situation? Okay, and that's my main thing. Is like, is your mind really the mind it would be if we were never colonized?
Yeah.
This is colonized speaking at the end of the day. And it's just like, bro, like, cool, you want to be clean and all that, cool. Like, for me, when somebody hears Brandon Mayshak, I want you to think calluses. I want you to think in the dirt somewhere in nature, sweating. I don't want you to think like, you know what I'm saying?
Just picture it right now.
What I mean? Like, I mean, I've been called pretty boy plenty growing up. I mean, I cut my own hair and stuff, but like, nah, bro, I'm a little rough around the edges, and that's how I like to be. I just know my boy isn't putting nail polish on, bro. Like, come on, y'all gotta stop this. There's a line, man.
Yeah, it's a line.
And there's a clear agenda. Especially when
it's like Drake is like, I don't know, almost 40 years old. Usually you don't just like develop like, oh, this is my new style now that I'm like 41 years old. It's like, what makes you want to now do this as your trend when that wasn't your vibe before? Where's it coming from?
Gatekeepers are like, yo, you need to
gatekeepers.
You need to hop on a little Nas X. You know, so
and also, Yachty, he was big in it too. Like he has a whole nail polish line,
which is like so excessive.
That's insane.
A little
You're trying to profit off of this movement.
Lil Pump and Playboy Cardi, all these really people that don't matter in life. To be honest, they matter to the Most High in their soul, but they don't matter to me. Of course, your salvation does matter, though, right? Yeah. So this dude DJ Academics, he's somebody who commentates on hip hop a lot. He was saying that he's probably doing this because he's stagnant, and his higher ups are telling him that for you to get to the next level, you're going to have to do this. You know what I mean?
How many levels are there? Drake is like probably one of the most profitable, successful artists ever.
The thing is,
like, is there more levels? Yeah. Don't you want to like go high?
I mean, I think they go off of when you got other artists charting higher than you at certain points. When you got rewards, like people are looking at these things as
like you want to stay on top.
Yeah.
Because he's pretty much been on top since I was in high school.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying I'm old, but I've been out of high school a while.
So now it's an image switch, and all these boys watching it are going to switch with him. Look, I have a client who's a barber. I seen him post a recent photo of him with his nails painted, and I'm just like, bro, I wanted to say something so bad, but I'm like, you know what? You don't have to fight every battle out there.
I have a friend of mine who works on my car. I would say he's really like my neighbor. Yeah. He's a local mechanic. He's worked on my cars for years. And one day I just needed like some air in my tire, and I pull up randomly. He had on lipstick. I've never seen this man ever see nothing of this nature. I was so confused. I didn't say anything. I just was like, yo, I need some air. And I just left. It was on my mind so heavy. I'm like, what man put on lipstick today?
Yeah. I just like... I'm like, okay, I don't have to fight everyone.
He's a mechanic.
I can't even put...
It's not like he's a hairstylist. I can't even put
chapstick on.
Really?
Too far.
I lick my lips.
Too far.
I lick my lips.
Too far.
I lick my lips.
Come on now.
Year round.
Get you some Blistex, okay?
Unless it's 20 degrees outside.
Gabby deserves better.
We're gonna.
Okay, now we're getting to the bottom of it. Like,
no,
that's too far. You can't wear chapstick.
No, I'm joking. That's not. Okay. I'm really joking.
I literally.
No, I mean, I actually don't need chapstick, to be honest. But I will put it on when it's super cold outside.
Okay.
But in secret, in total private.
Well, anyways.
I do think Carmex is getting a little bit too glossy for me. And I actually put some on before this. And I'm like...
I seen you put some Carmex.
Yeah, I just put it on. But I really like Blistex because it doesn't give the shine, And I don't know if you can combine other social medias into threads, but... I haven't even looked into it. I've seen they send they have a notification where it's like, oh, they started that. But
I almost don't want to read what people have to say. I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting tired of my timeline anyway. So now you guys have more to say, just words to say. Please.
From what I learned is that if you start a Threads account, and you want to delete it, you can't unless you delete your Instagram. So they're very much tied.
And we're gonna put the logo in the corner somewhere here, but it's like an @ with 3 6s in it. Some people feel like there's a pedophile.
It looks like a snake logo.
Pedophile swirls are in there too, and it's like y'all aren't slick, man. The symbolism is obvious, low key. Yeah. There's definitely 3 6s obviously in there. And so I can see how people would say the pedophile swirls. But yeah, it's just another meaningless social media platform to distract people, to take up your time. So you're hunched over like this in your phone all the time. I don't know why people would download threads over Twitter. I used to have a Twitter. I don't any longer. But I just feel like, bro, Twitter is still decent enough. Why would you want another platform where you're just gonna throw statuses all day?
I don't want to hear about Keke Palmer dancing with Usher on Twitter and then again on Threads on Instagram. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
But you know what it is too? Most people have Facebook and Instagram, and so a lot of people have always wished for Twitter's to be able to be integrated kind of into those big 2 social medias. Really the big 3 is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah.
Right? And to have a Twitter, quote unquote, that's integrated already into it, it probably is looked at as very convenient for a good amount of people.
Yeah, I'm not going because,
I'm not going either.
I literally just, I deleted TikTok off my phone. I'll probably download it eventually, like maybe in a month or two. Because TikTok, there's some interesting
China,
information
y'all
on
not
there.
getting my information.
I've never, yeah, I've
'Cause I
never
don't even
got.
care.
I heard it's
Anyhow,
very
work on
addictive, and I was just
yours.
like, okay, I believe y'all. Y'all say it's addictive. I just don't need to get on it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. But yeah, that's basically all these companies. They just want you to get on your phone more so they can, sell your data and get
And sell
companies
you
to.
stuff constantly.
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
and update their algorithms and their AI, and we're really just feeding more information to them. Especially with the predict who's gonna do a crime.
Fight the urge.
Technology. So,
Yeah.
but past all that, so let's talk about another brew, man. How we feel about DC.
Well, he's number one on Netflix. His show 85 South has gone number one, top 5 on Netflix the last few weeks, and I just find that very curious. Just because I think 85 South, the show has been out for it's a good while. I think it was even available on Netflix. Why is it all of a sudden number one?
You don't know, say. I'm honestly don't
Like
watch.
post
I didn't
this
even know we had a show.
unthinkable tragedy with the mother of his children, and he was grieving. He gave a very interesting, heartfelt message at her funeral, and then the next week he's number one on Netflix.
I don't know if that was even a funeral. Was that a funeral, or was that just more like a viewing or a gathering? But
Possibly.
anyways, go ahead.
But it's just curious to me, is it that everyone's like went and just started watching it because they know he was grieving, so it went number one? Or did they allow him to become more famous, these gatekeepers? They allowed him to now go number one. Because now that it's number one on Netflix, he's going to get more deals. And I think he has actually something else coming out. Because all of a sudden he's busy working. When I first thought, I was like, this is going to crush him. Like, as a comedian, after you experience that kind of grief and like a tragedy, you're not really trying to like be funny and be in people's faces all day and smile and laugh. But he's getting more famous.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say this, right? I am one of those people who don't grieve like everybody else. You're not gonna see me cry, okay?
Brandon, please.
Am I just building out this brick-headed personality in my head for you?
Yes, sir.
No, I mean, no, you're not gonna see me cry. Like my dad is very morbid, and he's very more in touch with his feelings than I am, and he don't mind crying in front of people and being emotional. Definitely at this this wedding, he boy, so they
He gave you the
butterfly
waterworks.
kisses. Like, if y'all know that song, waterworks. But no, like
He didn't have to be crying. I didn't say he had to be crying.
no. I mean, but the thing is like people want to see that. People be wanting People want to see people grieving. People want to see feelings. People want to see humanity, right?
It's
There's always
when
something
you bounce
wrong.
back too quick. Like,
Yeah, it's always something wrong with you with whoop de whoop. So I can relate to the emotionlessness kind of to it, right? You maybe could just grieve off camera or something, but yeah, I mean, I just think the way he's become so active, it's almost like capitalizing almost a little bit. I mean, usually even if you're not like so outward with it, you're still maybe like just in your own space, kind of, you know what I mean? Or concentrating on your family, your kids a little bit more. I mean, what are the kids going through, right? Obviously, the kids aren't going to handle it like he is. So like, at the end of the day, we don't know what's going on in his life outside of media, but you already know me. I do believe in Hollywood. It's based off of Freemasonic values a lot, sacrificing things to get to the next level. I haven't cared enough about this to try to look into symbolism and things like that to see what's going deeper. But I just think, it could be that. It could not be. I don't care
haven't cared enough to look into, but the fact that it's right there, it was. I didn't have to look far. I literally got on Netflix the following week, and he was number one. I was like, okay, I guess this is a coincidence. I mean, even elementary school teachers have bereavement. Like people take off work and they go away, and they
Definitely got enough money to go on a sabbatical.
Right. So I guess I wouldn't want to jump to any conclusions, but I found that highly suspicious indeed.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely seems so. But hey, man, like I said, if you're really grieving and you're really going through it, still prayers to you. If this was something more sinister, then hey, man, prayers to you and your repentance, man. Don't be another one of these people trying to infiltrate the Israelite community and steer people wrong, because those people get the Most High's wrath even worse.
Yeah.
That's true.
So yeah, man.
You guys ready to get into our main topic?
Yes.
All right.
The topic.
The main topic for our conversation today: segregation versus integration. Boom, mic drop.
Boom.
It's
Now, before we get this, what do y'all think most people's idea, like in the world,
We're programmed to think that integration is the save all.
Yeah.
That is actually the goal. Like, the goal is to integrate. I grew up believing that Martin Luther King and the civil rights activists who are hanging up on walls and in our textbooks were fighting so that we could be included for the betterment of ourselves and our future. And we're so fortunate to be here in this integrated classroom with this Caucasian teacher and our classmates. And we're just so lucky to be learning Black history. And we're so glad that they allow for us to integrate.
Yeah. It was interesting you said Black history, because I don't really recall learning any Black history in my history classes.
You learned about integration.
Yeah, we learned about integration.
Yeah.
That's Black history.
Ta-da!
That's crazy. Black history is integration. Like, what? Or it's just like
Assimilation.
They really skimmed over slavery. I'm like,
They hit on assimilation and then they hit on integration. And they're like, and now we're here.
yeah. And I honestly,
We're so lucky to be
We've
here.
made so much progress.
yeah.
Look around.
Oh, progress.
Right. Yeah. See, the Most High, he pulled out of Egypt his holy nation, segregated.
Yeah.
Segregated. And I think that,
But the Egyptians followed them to integrate into their culture and their ways, though. So he pulled his nation out, but we do want to remember that there were Egyptian converts who migrated with them.
okay, so it's okay to integrate up, not integrate down.
Okay. Yeah. You're integrating into the Most High system or the world system.
Right.
But I can say though, like it's a very hypothetical conversation, because I literally could not picture what it would have been like if they would have allowed us to, instead of integrate, given us the resources to build our own everything and not burn it continuously down. Where would we be now? Like us versus them mentality.
Yeah.
Where would things be? Would people be less racist? Would we just cross paths willingly? Would there be, I can't even imagine it, because it's never been obtainable.
So all right, so when I look at the old world, right, for one, race is a very new concept, all right? The old world never looked at race. That was dumb. There was nationality, all right, in nations. And even if you looked a little bit different, you were of that still nationality, right? If you was light skinned and you was dark skinned, but y'all come from the same nation, that is your nationality, right? Or your tribe that you belong to within that nation. And so fast forward, now we have
1500s. Like 1500s, 1600s, I believe it was like European philosophers started to develop like, we need to segregate, or not segregate, like based on race.
They created the concept of race.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Right. And so fast forward, we have we have these white versus Black conversations. Like, I hear a lot of Africans will often say, African Americans worry too much about race, right? Which that's actually very true. We don't worry enough about nationality,
right,
or following the Most High system. So they're very right, in those critiques. The thing about Martin Luther King and learn about him is people always gloss over this. Towards the end of the life, he said, "I fear I have steered my people into a burning house." Okay, he made a statement at the end of his life that was against everything that he fought for, which was integration, right? Obviously, we're thankful to have rights and be able to move around in certain ways, but the Most High never wanted integration for real. He did want segregation for his chosen nation. That's only because he realizes that the rest of the world is going to do what the rest of the world is going to do. But holy Kadash, set apart people need to be a part, physically and spiritually. And the only integration that was really that's biblically true is when the other nations moved and integrated into the way of the Israelites.
Okay.
You had people who were just passing through, or the stranger, right? That still, believed in the Most High, right, and served in their ways. But then you had the sojourners who actually joined to Israel, married into Israel, but worshipped the Most High and did the traditions with them, right?
Yes.
Now we follow the ways of other nations due to our integration. Greek fraternities and Masonic, morals,
rituals,
educations. Like we're learning everything from the view of our oppressors. Even HBCUs, man. And y'all can come at me if y'all want to in the comments. But even when you talk about HBCUs, like Spelman is named after what?
Rockefeller.
Rockefeller's wife. Like, the Rockefellers fund the entire education system. Entire. So are you even learning what you really need to from Black historical colleges?
Yeah.
Basically,
right?
no.
Which HBCUs house Greek fraternities?
Of course.
So what? That's just the contradiction.
Make it make sense.
Back to gatekeeping.
Huh?
It goes back to gatekeeping. Yeah, it is really.
Gatekeeping.
I'd like another thing on like the history or misinformation history lesson on integration versus segregation. I was taught, or from what I was taught, I conceptualized that the difference between the Black Panther movement, Malcolm X, versus the civil rights movement with Martin Luther King was that Martin Luther King was about peaceful, progress.
I have not come to bring peace, but a sword to set a father against. No, let me stop.
Man, I'm saying that he was for peace, and that Malcolm X was for violence, and that they had different approaches. No, they had different agendas. Like that is the point was that they had different agendas altogether. Like it was never about one was for peace and one was for violence. It was literally that one wanted to be integrated, and he thought that was the ultimate mission, or at least that's what he was assigned to. Yeah. And the other one was like, no, we need complete separation. Like we need our own thing.
Marcus
we want to
Garvey.
be undisturbed. Like we need to have resources. Like Dr. Umar, you have your opinions on him, whatever. But I think that that's still what he pushes. Like he's saying, like if your society doesn't have a hospital, a bank, and
the only thing that Dr. Umar is missing
manufacturing ability to manufacture. Like if you don't have that, then you're not a society. Like
in that conversation, the only thing Dr. Umar is missing is, of course, in biblical law, that it's only okay to marry someone of a different nation if they're integrating into your culture or the Most High's culture that He set for us, right? That's the only time. Like, because once you become saved, you become an Israelite, whether natural or branch or not branch. I love how Bishop at Boom, he actually really went in yesterday, and my white homegirl Jimmy's there, who usually comes to and we used to start getting the topics, and somehow got into his like, well, look, here at Boom, there is no Gentile, no, I'm an Israelite, no, like all of us are family. We're Israel, whether you white, whatever, woo. That's really what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I do understand, of course, the Most High's original plan, right, for humanity, and things happen, and now we have different, all different type of looks, right?
But Dr. Umar is coming from a perspective of like, in order to obtain the separation, if you continuously intermarry with the persons of other race, then they're going to join the organization. Even Malcolm X himself would say, if we will possibly take funding, but we're not taking membership, because once there's one, then there's two, the next thing you know, they're taking over everything. So that's Dr. Umar's perspective on the marriage thing. He's not even coming, because he said he's into Kifa, is that what it's called? Ifa. He's into Ifa, like African spirituality. So he's not even using a biblical basis. He's just saying, logically, to me, if all the men go out and take women of other races and then don't take our own women, how are we ever going to build anything? Because our families keep getting broken.
Yeah, that's,
and then we're splitting the wealth, like, and then now it's almost like watering down, which at some point it does get to be okay. Now it sounds racist, like it starts to sound like elitism, like the racial purification thing, which I think
the story of Jonah. Look, we experienced quote unquote racism because our ancestors was that at first. Look, Moses' wife was black, Ethiopian, but Aaron and his wife was trying them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Most High punished them eventually for that.
Yeah.
Jonah got punished for not wanting to spread the Most High's message to Nineveh. And so I always take it back. Everybody got their own opinions, but if we're going to stack it against the laws of the Most High, I actually want to bring up the verse at some point. But, it talks about, in Numbers, whoever, somebody else go. I'm going to bring it up.
Yeah, I just think what immigration did to the black community here in the United States was it basically, we lost our sense of community. And, like, I feel like probably when segregation was going around, that's why you saw, like, how powerful the boycotts were and how powerful, like, black business was, because that's all we had to rely on. And it's like as we integrated, we started to assimilate into the predominant culture, which was white culture, and now we're to a point to where it's like, I mean, the gatekeepers are really gatekeeping, I think. And it's like it's hard to get away from that, because now we already, like, it's basically, I don't know if we could even go back, unless we were to, like, literally leave.
There's no undo. Yeah.
Unless we were to, like, literally leave this country.
Which Marcus Garvey was heavy on that.
Yeah, and I think that.
Yeah.
And some have left. I mean, I don't know where they're at or how they're doing.
It's worked for some people. It hasn't worked for others. Look, Numbers chapter 1, verse 14. And if a stranger sojourn with you, or whosoever be among you in your generations, and will offer an offering made by fire of a sweet savour unto Chaya, as ye do, so he shall do. One ordinance shall be for both of you of the assembly, and also for the stranger that sojourns with you, an ordinance forever in your generations. As ye are, so shall the stranger be before Chaya. One Torah and one manner of law shall be for you and for the stranger that sojourns with you. Okay. So we're talking about sojourners, people who actually want to cling to our people, right? Yeah. And then, I can bring up verses where you literally had Caleb, an Edomite, right? Who know the white man is not Esau, look at Japheth and some other things. But where he claimed tribe of Judah, because he clung to Israel. He was an Edomite, but became tribe of Judah. So I used to be so blackity black power, like, oh, I'll never, ever look at anybody outside my race. Now today I still have my preference of marrying either, Israel or black or Latina or whatever, or native, because I do look at them as Israel. That's my preference, but I don't shame other people anymore for marrying outside the race. What I do think is ridiculous is, hey, y'all need to have hard conversations. Do y'all have the same perspective of your faith? You know what I mean? Because you have some married couples who are Christians, but now that one of them becomes, oh, I'm an Israelite, that's going to be tension right there. Even with black couples, that's already tension. So imagine with a, black and white, right? I just think
they're going to be like not letting you talk at the family dinner. Be like, if you bring this up at my white family dinner, we're getting divorced.
look, next thing you know, they're talking about, oh yeah, God bless America and this country, and you're like, oh, what about the natives and the
genocide?
Yeah, and who were the people in the book?
Yeah. Those who feel like the love that they have for one another abounds beyond all of those things. Yeah, I think they should be together. I don't believe in, like, literally you should only marry your own race. I mean, it's beneficial. It's what I'm gonna do.
It's the smarter choice.
It makes sense.
Smarts doesn't always go into,
but your heart's
that. Yeah, right.
But okay, like,
because let the right lady walk down the street. Elijah here's out of here.
But if she don't know Christ, then it really doesn't matter.
That's what we say.
Yes,
bro.
there's no
It
Christ.
really doesn't matter. It don't matter how beautiful you are. So it's just like it kind of goes back to the sojourners. Like if I find a white woman or like a Latino woman or Asian woman, you know, that really loves the Lord, can get okay with the truth. Like okay, you know.
I totally think you're gonna go for it.
I don't know. I honestly, I think Elijah might be a little more of a wild card. I don't think I could guess what Elijah would end
I
up with.
love my black women, so I'm seeking for one. I'll
There you go. I hear that.
So,
but yeah, like
but
that.
if I get to them like 30 plus, I'm like,
and that's the thing.
Some people are about to be 30.
And
well, you know, I'm just younger, you know.
I'm just younger. Yeah, he in his prime right now.
I got time.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to
That's taking a lot
strike
of time,
when the iron's hot? Is that the term? Strike when the iron's hot, Elijah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Look, we're gonna pray nice and hard for him. But yeah, man, no, like, so, I mean, yeah, that's how I feel about integration. Like, I think we're not supposed to integrate into any society that's outside of the Most High's way and will. Whether the society is in Europe, whether the society is in Africa or South America, or even in Africa, it's only places we should integrate into where the Most High's word Bible is being upheld. Now I think we can definitely say Africa has been upholding more of those morals better than other countries. You know, the only thing we're integrating into there is so many of us are so spoiled that we wouldn't be able to handle life over there. You know what I mean? A lot of us aren't used to working as hard as we would need to integrate over there. I do like that I see the president starting to have conversations, and there might be some laws coming to where they make it easier for Black Americans to integrate back over there. So that's actually one of the subjects I'm really kind of keep my eye on is how are these presidents now going to make it easier for Black Americans to integrate back into African culture, African societies. So I look forward to that.
Me too.
I do think you bring up a good point when you're saying paganism, because I'm thinking integration, like segregation versus integration. I'm picturing post-Civil War, like Reconstruction. But actually, when you think about the fact that like we live in a pagan system where we don't, like we literally, you send your kid to school and they have Christmas parties and they have Easter, Halloween parties, and you have to literally take them out of school in order for them to not participate. I don't really think from that perspective. And I mean, that is a form of segregation, where it's like, because we're a part of this system, we have to literally like go out of our way to not participate in what tree lighting ceremonies, and these are the normal things.
Or not be labeled
doing.
ADHD just because you have a lot of energy. Like we're not supposed to be sitting, like literally, like our literal selves today is product of integration. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a big comment or thing if I put African garb on. Like, bruh, this should be normal, bruh. Like, and y'all looking at me like, oh my good, like, bruh, this should be normal.
That would, but the way that would look like it's like segregating from your own people, because we are American. So our families are our extended families. They are a part of that pagan system.
Well,
like,
I disagree with the "we are American," and this is why.
Because you can take a lion. You're American.
Because you can take a lion. The African lion is only in other countries because they stole it. But if you trace that bloodline back and you look, that's still an African lion, even though you want to give it other names because this one is in China and now it's a little smaller, and this one is, just because we've been in someplace for a long time. Even Native Americans, like even natives, well, how did you get here? When did your people migrate? You know what I mean?
Ago.
Yeah, you have claim over this land over recent people coming, but that's why I think it always goes back to what's the origin of your nationality. I mean, really, we all African, except for, you know, if you're looking at the Neanderthal kind of civilization, that's a little bit different. But like at the end of the day, like, no, we're all, and even terms like Africa, the country that people name themselves after, are still names that Europeans put. So, like, I don't know. I just feel like, no, you are what your tribe is. we only call ourselves American. It's because of ignorance of knowing where we come from.
But it's because it's like literally we are citizens of America, like United States of America. When you go use that passport, it says you're an American citizen. It's on your birth certificate.
And that's because that's what they called you.
It is what they called you, but it is for all intents and purposes what you truly are.
Yeah,
like,
I get it. I guess what I'm saying is I believe in reliving your mindset. You should live within the reality of what is actually real. Understand the matrix that other people may view you through, right? Because that's how you have to live. But I personally want to live in the reality of knowing that I'm a Kikuyu that descended from the tribe of Asher of Israel, and my family's blood goes back to Kenya. I personally like to embrace that. I don't think it's necessarily, I guess, wrong that other people may not embrace thinking like that, but for me to continue to knock off the westernization out of my brain, I want to constantly bathe in that. You know what I'm saying? So
I do want to speak a little to the side of integration. I will admit, even in all of my blackness and my freeing myself mindset, I have reaped lots of benefits of integration. And reap those benefits to this day.
We all have.
Yeah.
I can't sit here and
materialism.
pretend like I wish I would take it all back. No, I've reaped some benefits of integration.
Outside of materialism.
Have you had spinach dip?
Materialism.
Spinach dip.
Guac.
But not only, but the
is amazing.
But the thing is,
have you ever been in one of those hot tubs that spills over into the pool?
Materialism. There's hot spring. Imagine the nature springs and things that you come across in nature that's even better than that. But also our taste buds are integrated.
Yeah, taste buds.
So if we were to go to our homeland and eat, right now it might be good, but it might not be as good as it would be if you grew up there. So really, we didn't really get anything from that. Our bodies just adapted.
I would hate to say that even education, like I was never interested in going to an HBCU, and we're anyways already saying that the HBCUs are really no different from the PWIs for all intents and purposes. But like, I do think that I have benefited from growing up alongside people of other cultures. My speech pattern, everything I do would be different if I weren't in that environment.
I think the benefit is I know my enemies. I know how my enemies think. That's the biggest. Yeah. That's the biggest plus for me, because I will say that I do feel that some of our people who haven't grown up with our enemies are a little kind of naive, which is why we don't have our own armies.
Or they're plain scared of them.
Yeah, or like we don't have our own armies, and there's still maybe this God complex looking at them because of the images that were sent to our people in other places. So for me, the benefit is we know our enemies, and we can, use that to our advantage for when the time comes.
Yeah, I definitely think that there are benefits to both segregation and integration. I think that would have been a lot more beneficial for me growing up, and I think a lot of our people were to be grown up in a segregated environment, and then given the option to freely choose to integrate. But I'm not complaining about the integration, because I know how to interact with literally anybody. You know what I mean? I can get along with really anybody. But the downside is like I have to like be all the more willing to integrate with my own people, which shouldn't be the case. You know what I mean? Like I had to go out of my way to find black business. And to support it too, like so.
I do recall moments like that where it's like I had to go out of my way to find the black friend or like do a black thing. My parents were like, let's make sure that our kids have enough black stuff. Like, we're black. Like, my parents went out of their way to make sure that we were involved in enough black things, because to them it was a preference to live in a mostly white neighborhood because the schools are better and this and that. So now when we do sports, we're going to physically drive you to the hood for your sports teams so that you like are around your people enough. They went out of their way. Like, they seriously, even when we moved to Georgia, they found where the best schools were, which is in Alpharetta even to this day. And they, that's where they took us. And we saw a lot of things. Like the CEO of Wells Fargo son was in my brother's high school classes and stuff. Like, it's like he's throwing parties, like having friends over, and it's like things that you would never see in this world. It's like, you live here? Like, who, what does your dad do? Like, those are the kind of things that I don't know. I'm not saying that we couldn't have that if we had our own, but there's just certain things. They built this place, so there's certain things that, because they have integrated, it has given us access.
See, the thing is, though, but look, when I went to Kenya, man, I came back so less materialistic and minimalistic. Like, the thing is, we would never miss any of this stuff if we never integrated. And so when you experience like too much, now it's more of a desire. Now I gotta have that. Like, and so at the end of the day, yeah, like I get it. There's different experiences, and it's fine to have different experiences. But the thing is like it also makes it harder to connect to your own culture of people, and you would never miss some of this stuff. Like you wouldn't miss it in have a need and desire for it. And so that's why going to Kenya was literally the best trip I ever did, because I just realized, bro, these people got peace. Like, yeah, they got struggles, but our peace is nothing like the kind of peace they have, even with less. And so it's just like, that's why I look at, like, it's like, yeah, we have different things, but we wouldn't miss it either way, you know.
We have first world problems.
Yeah, first world problems. But we're gonna be third real soon. What do you
think it would be like, though, if you go outside, everywhere you go, everyone is black? I already feel that way in Atlanta.
No. See, here's what
I went out to eat, and every single person was black in the restaurant. The servers.
Stop. I got
the patrons. The valet was Ethiopian.
The thing is, you don't realize is Africa is the most diverse country in the entire world. Literally being in Kenya amongst 43 tribes, you can tell who's from. People was telling me who I was without me telling them. You look like so you can literally tell who belongs to this light-skinned tribe over here, this dark these peoples, you can tell this is where Asians descend from. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm saying, like,
in that diverse place, we're talking about here. If it was here, we're all the same. It'd be a bunch of us running around and our family members.
You're talking about here in America?
If we were to have segregation here.
But we'd probably be able to tell, though.
No, I mean, the thing is that, I'll say this. After coming here, going over there and coming back, I can look at certain black people and tell you most likely come from that tribe. You most likely come from that. I don't know about so we only we only look at so you only think like that, like
we from the South Side.
So the only reason why you think like that, it's almost like where people say like, oh, all Asian people look the same. Oh, all white people look the same. Like some people say like stuff like that, right? Like they can't tell the difference between Chad and Scott. You know, it's only because we don't know who we are. Like, if we actually knew who we came from, and we could tell the different, like, you have wide eyes because you come from these people, and you have a thick beard because this tribe got special oils. Like, you'd be able to tell the diverse. This would be diverse. Yeah. We don't look.
But we act enough alike. Okay, get all my cousins and move us in one neighborhood together. We might kill each other.
Because of black culture is toxic. Black pagan culture. Black culture, which American has given us, is trash.
I don't even like to eat at those places where they got hookah on the menu and food. Because y'all about to get on my nerves.
That's our Arab culture.
The servers is about to have an attitude. It's going to be 20% gratuity. Like, it's just like, it's a thing. So I think sometimes we got to break it up a little.
And so, what I'm saying is, what y'all need to do is y'all need to go to the motherland once.
I might be indoctrinated.
And when you come, and you are. We all are to degrees. Yeah. But if you go, you will never come back the same. And your thinking is going to be completely different. I'm telling you.
Let's plan a trip.
Let's plan this shit.
All right, I'm about it. All right, we beat this subject like a dead horse. So, what's next?
Alternative thought, false flags. Time. All right. So our alternative thought for this week is this episode is false flags.
Okay.
We recently in the news were bombarded for a week or 2 weeks with this submarine that was going down
just chatter. Oh my! So much submarine
going down to
chatter.
see the Titanic, which housed a billionaires and millionaires. Like
Ocean Gate.
The Ocean Gate submarine. It was all over the news. But this is just an example of false flags, or the media distracting us from actual important things that were going on. So yeah, that's one thing we're going to talk about, because there was some major news about the president's son that came out, Hunter Biden, actually pleading guilty to tax charges and gun charges.
Things that we're not surprised about, by the way.
No, not surprising.
But the internet was going crazy talking about this submarine, and there were memes about the submarine.
So many.
And as us blacks, we have so many jokes. If my man was in that submarine, I would have been found it. It's just like, you guys, please, can we focus on the real topics?
Yeah, the fact that Simpsons and Family Guy, both written by 33rd Degree Masons, by the way, have already had episodes that played this whole thing out, shows me how much of a false flag. 111 years after
submarine.
Yeah,
I did not see that.
100. Yeah, Titanic.
That's
All that. 111 years after the actual Titanic event, the people on it were related to the people who died on the original Titanic, which that had a lot to do with the Federal Reserve and disagreements.
But do we think that people were actually in that submarine, or they made the whole thing up?
Who knows? Like, that's the thing. Who knows, bro? It could have been alive for real, but it's just like, who knows, man? I just think it's just junk. It's junk to fill our head. The same week, a ship full of immigrants went missing, like somewhere.
It was the Mediterranean Sea.
In Greece, on the way to Greece?
In Greece, yeah.
Yeah.
The Palestinians, like 300 of them passed away. Rest in peace. That's what should.
Those are our brothers and sisters too, though. Like the Palestinians. In a sense, I really do think
and they are getting taken away from their homeland by them Ashkenazis.
Ethnic cleansing in the West Bank.
Yeah.
So they're running for their lives, actually fleeing, packing themselves on this tiny vessel, almost 400 people, they said.
I think it was 700 people on the boat, but it was 300 that died.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like that.
But
there was way too many on the boat.
Every news feed is talking about this submarine that had, I don't know, 5 people, 6 people?
Yeah, 5, 6 people. Yeah, it's like...
Hey, man, it is... Look, man, white folk gonna do what white folk gonna do, man. Like, that... let me stop saying that.
But how do we identify...
ridiculous.
How do we identify false flags? Like, how do we, not give our attention to those things that are, constantly coming across the timeline?
Just don't watch it. I don't watch the news. Now, the timeline is almost worse than the news in some regards. I don't know, Look, I haven't been worried about none of this stuff, man. I hear it, and it's in one ear, not the other, to be honest. I have to do a podcast, though, so, I have to know a little bit about some of these things.
Well, he's only watching for us. Okay, nice enough.
I'm in tune down for y'all.
Otherwise, you would have closed your ears.
Oh, bro, some rich people died in a submarine. It sounds like a rich people way to die.
Yeah.
You like that, but...
You said, the ticket was $250? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool, baby.
Yo, down to go see Titanic? Okay, cool. Y'all, look, do your thing, man. Become a ghost ship,
it's like, mind you, it took them 72 years to find the actual Titanic.
Yeah, bro, what are y'all doing?
I wish that there was a sort of art form to actually finding the real news of things that's going on, because it's hard to know when they're saying clickbait words. Hunter Biden laptop. Hunter Biden cocaine seen in the White House.
Yeah.
Joe Biden trips and falls. Does he have Alzheimer's? It's like clickbait. But it's like, where are the real issues when they're actually passing legislation very quietly, and then they're at the same time it's
literally government websites.
It'll be at the same time as some huge I don't watch basketball like that, but what do they call it when the series is going on?
The finals?
It'll be during the basketball finals or whatever, and then all of a sudden they're passing legislation very quickly, but everyone's watching basketball.
Yeah. It's just...
that's
what the media is for. It's just to divert your attention towards something, to condition you towards something, to get you to think about something while, the actual real problems, or, not real problems, but, real issues are being set in stone.
Yeah. Most people still don't know what FedNow is. Most people still don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
That's,
It's really going to change. It's going to change up a lot. Should we just get into it?
Yeah.
Financial
news.
It's basically... It is basically a new messaging system that banks and financial institutions are going to use. So basically, right now, it takes, let's say you have a bank with Wells Fargo and you say you wanted to buy one of my t-shirts and I'm with Chase. It take them probably like 3 days to get the money from Wells Fargo over to Chase. And both those banks are communicating on the Federal Reserve's platform. Well, now the Federal Reserve is moving towards this FedNow platform, which is basically going to settle payments instantly. Instantly, like 3 to 5 seconds, less than a minute. So it's going to make payments and moving payments, settling payments a lot faster. And FedNow is going live July 20th of this year.
Do they move it from the 1st to the 20th? Or
I think that, I don't know if they moved it back or it just wasn't. They said like it's going to be released in July, from my understanding. Just in
now
July.
they're just being specific.
Yeah, on the actual date. But yeah, like this is going to start moving us really towards blockchain technology and digital currency, which stems from blockchain, because blockchain is kind of the basis of cryptocurrency, and from that, then digital currency can start to be introduced. People got to get aware of like these changes that are happening. Probably your bank is going to be on this first integration towards it. Like JP Morgan Chase, they're on this first integration. U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo, BNY Mellon. I got the whole list here. It's on the Federal Reserve. Like there's like 57 organizations and also payment processors and settlers that are on this first integration of FedNow.
And this is why they had to kill the Cash App CEO, because he was creating that app where you could send payments anonymously, and FedNow was not going to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And then they didn't announce FedNow the day after he was killed. Like, bro,
They didn't even wait. They were like, all right, just keep on.
the boldness. Yeah, we got them in the Matrix deep enough.
Yeah,
Is this something that we would opt into? So like for an everyday user of Chase Bank, now I can do Zelle. I mean, I know things pinned, but I feel like things are like instantaneous. So would I be like opting to use my FedNow as like a separate wallet?
Not yet. No.
Or is like my own money will just now also be owned by FedNow?
Right now it's like really behind the scenes. So like you'll still be able to like from my understanding, you'll be still using Zelle. Mm-hmm. Say you're Zelling your mom and she banks with Wells Fargo, or like even another bank. Chase, to move that money, is going to be using FedNow, but you won't know that.
Oh, I see.
You're not going to know that.
So it's all behind the scenes.
It's all behind the scenes. And
so then it's just to say that eventually I can't, because like FedNow is not promoting cash, so I can't be like, let me go take out all this money out the bank in cash. Like with FedNow, it's like this is digital.
Yeah.
This is digital only. You can't take cash out.
And then of course they'll be able to track what you're buying and all of this crazy.
Yeah,
just freeze.
It's gonna be bad.
Oh, buying too much ammo, freeze his account.
Oh yeah.
Or it's like, it gets so hypothetical. It's like, okay, so what's real anymore? Because now you guys are just telling us that these are just moving numbers on a computer all day.
Literally.
And it's not backed by anything. So it's like, what even is money at that point? I mean, I guess we're already there, kind of. Like, what even is money?
It's whatever they put value on, or whatever whoever you're trying to trade with or get services from puts value on. But
like, what's your job values? Okay, the work that you do, we think that you should make approximately $5,000 a month. Mm-hmm. And we're going to give it to you in 2 payments every month for this amount of work. Whether you do this much work or that much work, you're going to get $5,000 a month in 2 payments every month.
Yeah.
That's the world we live in. That's what we do now.
I mean, what was it? The last shift of empires went from the British Empire to the United States. Mm-hmm. What happened in 1776? It was a war. And I think that fiat currency was around, but the predominant currency was gold, silver, and probably people, slavery.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And now we're seeing another clash of empires, the United States and China, in the superpower movement. And with each change of power, you're going to see a new currency emerge. Because basically the next superpower kind of sets the tone. I mean, now I don't think that China's going to be the next superpower. It's going to be one world.
United Nations.
Because out of...
They'll be used, but the United Nations uses Chinese troops for the most part, I believe. You're going to usually see Chinese people.
Because they have such a high population.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it'll...
And they're pretty pretty warriors people, man.
Oh,
hand-to-hand combat.
See that video of the kids putting guns together in Chinese
class.
kids? Yeah, in class. And then we get
super militant with it, like seriously.
Yeah.
Ruach Hakodesh, I'm waiting for them wonders that we're gonna do that not even the Messiah performed.
Yeah, greater works than him.
Give me my powers.
Yeah, I'm ready for my greater works.
Fire force field, like I don't know. Yeah,
that's funny.
But okay, all right, shoot, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so I mean, honestly, what I do is not financial advice at all, by the way. But I've been just taking out a lot more cash lately.
I've been buying a lot more silver. I'm gonna start doing gold.
Yeah, but I keep cash. Don't try and rob me. I got ammo too, so.
All right.
I did buy a new toy too. I did.
Yeah, I saw it today.
Oh no, not that one. No.
Oh, you been had that?
Yeah, I've been had it. That's
you said that's old work.
Yeah, it's old work. Yeah.
Put me in my place quick. I was like, hey,
yeah, right.
So, peace, love, happiness. But yeah, so I mean that concludes our episode 10.
Yeah, good talk today.
Yeah,
talk,
it was
good
definitely.
talk.
I know we went over. I know we went over, but all good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for watching Kingdom OutKasts Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share. This is episode 10, and we out.
Yes. Shalom.
Deuces.
Peace.
Shalom.